pleasant afternoon, Miss Malabayabas. Hello, I am Jasmin Princess Amantebian from Jose Rizal University, Bachelor of Science in Psychology Department. Thank you for joining me in our interview. In your years of teaching, what are the most common communication conflicts you've observed among students?
In my 3 years of teaching, actually, two of the most common conflicts that I have observed among the students that I taught would be, first and foremost, misunderstanding, or what we call miscommunication, right? Or misinterpretation of the message being relayed to them. Especially because when you are communicating, there will be times wherein the message will be interpreted different. Okay, another, this one is actually connected with the first. It's what we call vague tone or nonverbal cues. In a way that whenever a student speaks something that is not really related with whatever they are portraying in terms of their body language, so miscommunication would also arise, or misinterpretation. And in terms of teaching them on how to handle those kind of conflicts, I'm always telling them to actually talk it out with one another. Now you have to talk about the things that you weren't able to grasp, because there will be what we call communication barrier, right? Or the noise itself.
Usually, if we're going to talk about the students, usually it's grammar, and of course, vastly about the use of words. Technically kasi, if we're going to discuss or will be undergoing a discussion inside the classroom, there will be technical words like jargons and the likes. So, you have to explain it further because there will be times that the students will not be able to understand it. Usually, what I did as a solution was to do an unlocking of difficulty with the words that I think will give them a hard time understanding, or will eventually cause misunderstanding or conflicts between our discussion.
What approaches do you use to communicate with introvert versus extroverted students?
I would always initiate a conversation to them, whether they are extrovert or introvert. And it actually works. And another approach actually that also works best is I allow them to tell me whatever they are feeling through written communication. So I would ask them to message me whenever they are ready, or they could write a written letter per se, just to tell me whatever they are feeling or struggling with.
Usually, I don't have different approaches to them. It's just that when we are doing our lessons, the approach was the same with everyone. But during activities or writing activities, we have teacher focus and student focus activities, wherein the teacher will be going over one student each and then check on them whether they are done with their writing, what's their progress, and usually I will be focusing on those students that are introvert more than the ones that are extrovert during these times. Kasi extroverts tend to express what they were actually feeling at that same moment, but introverts will not. So you have to focus on them and thoroughly think and discuss matters with them.
How did you manage to communicate?
There was a time when we've had a misunderstanding because I actually use a nonverbal cue that is confusing. So for example, my facial expression together with my tone of voice. Actually, my tone of voice is always a concern when I communicate with people, because my tone of voice would not really change. And whether I'm serious or not, okay, that the tone would be the same. In terms of managing it, actually you have to always take time or use time to regulate your emotion. And after regulating your emotion, you can talk it out with the person that you've had a misunderstanding with.
Since we are practicing the same profession, of course, we understood the difficulties and hardships of each other. Therefore, we do understand that there will be times that this person is quite more agitated than the other days because of tiredness and other psychological matters that they are undergoing. When it comes to my students, usually kasi I don't really like to be strict inside the classroom. So my classroom is more like a player room wherein they are free to discuss whatever they like. They are free to express what their thoughts are, and I am trying to make my classroom free of their speeches.
First, one tip would be you have to listen before you talk, and it's actually a thing common or known to all of us. So you have to listen before you talk. Another, when you are trying to deal with a communication conflict, you actually have to follow up in terms of checking in with a person. And I'm telling this from the perspective of the educational field.
One key component is just to ask them. That was the first step kasi. Ask them, talk with them, because even the first step is the hardest one. So it's up to you to converse with them, to explore, and of course to know them better. Because the first step is always the hardest. But eventually, once you started the conversation already, you will get to know each other more and become even closer to each other.
Mami, may story time ako. As you know, college instructor si Bakla.
Good day, Resilience! Today is extra special because we are here at the Liceo de Pulilan to interview the one and only Sir Cleven Yambao.
Good afternoon din. Medyo pagod, as you know. Medyo tiring din kasi malapit na kami sa season ng midterm. Actually, tapos na kami mag-midterm sa college. And then, buwan ng week, as you know. But nonetheless, it's the same old scenario naman. So, sanay na.
So, first of all, I just want to say, on behalf of our people, I just want to say thank you for saying yes to our invite, because we know you have a busy schedule and you have a lot of things going on in your life. But you still spared some time for us, so thank you so much.
No worries.
Before we dive into our questions, could you briefly introduce yourself? Maybe share something about what you do, your achievements, and how you balance all of the things that's going on in your life.
So I want to introduce myself. My name is Cleven Yambao. I was born and raised from the province of Bulacan. It's literally a simple dream from Bulacanyo, or a provincial dream, and then it flourishes from it stems to a lot of achievements simply because of my dreams na medyo ambisyoso kasi ako ng bata. My dreams are, in a sense, hindi mo siya pwedeng i-box. A fun fact about me is that nung graduation ko ng college, I didn't attend the graduation rites itself because I got a job offer the night before. I didn't attend the graduation because I find it, I'm very thrilled to go into the corporate world or to work for again. I've been to a lot of industries in the past. BPO. By the way, I'm a graduate of Hotel Restaurant Management, major in international cuisine. I dabbled with call center, na-promote ako for 3 steps ladder sa corporate world. And I can say na doon talaga na-hone yung communication skills ko. In call center, you have to be very vocal. You have to build rapport. You have to talk to your customers. Now, if we're talking about achievements, I would say na hindi siya isa, because to me, my achievements are my promotions every now and then. Never ako nagkaroon ng trabaho, hindi ako na-promote. So, ay kagaya ngayon, recently I'm awarded as the best instructor for 2025. Sa mga side hustles, like nag-host din ako. I also do events. And of course, as you know, the social media thingy. And then lastly, the fight for the rainbow community. So hindi naman nawala yun. In fact, I'm not sure if Princess shared to you my most trending pictures before sa Pride.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Sir Clevin. Now, we've prepared a few questions for you.
Sure.
Not the very one, it's OJ questions.
Okay.
It's more on about communication-related ones. So,
Okay.
are you ready for it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Fire it up.
So how does your presence on social media influence how people communicate with you professionally and personally?
MJ, medyo mahirap, medyo tricky siya. Kasi since I became a social media, I would say personality, nung nag-boom yung mga posts ko in the past, communication-wise, they tend to become more feeling close. And I'm not shading them or whatnot. It's just that, kasi your energy transpired. Di ba parang sa TikTok ko, I call them Nina, mga mamshi. And then when they message me in a formal setting, for example, if you're approaching a person whom you doesn't know from the other end of the globe, you would say, hi, my name's this, I'm that, and I just want to ask this and that. But no, now na kilala nila ako as Clevin and sa TikTok, they tend to approach me even parang magkaibigan na kami na parang, Bex, kamusta na? Bex, ano naman sa itinerary sa Vietnam? So, communication-wise, merong pros and cons na masasabi ko, MJ, kasi nga, they tend to feel more attached sa'yo or close sa'yo. But struggles-wise, wala pa naman ako nakikitang downside in a sense as a professional. I think my students respect me pa rin naman still. They know the differentiation of between me as a personality sa social media between college instructor or instructor nila. So, all in all, I think masasabi ko na mas close sila, mas less formal sila mag-approach. Minsan yung mga 2 a.m. na nagta-chat pa.
Have you received hateful comments?
Let's just say na may mga taong hindi naman lahat gusto yung pinuput out mo sa social media. So makakakita ka talaga ng mga not nice things. Meaningful comments. Yeah, marami, sobrang dami. Para sa akin alam, MJ, yung term na sa showbiz na any traction is a good traction. And that's actually the reason why rage baiting is now also at large. Before pa naman nag-boom yung TikTok ko, nagpa-post na ako ng mga contents here and there. Nakita ko ng Pride March 2018 yon. And you can just imagine the people on the religious aspect, religious sect na sobrang pangbabash to the point na in-edit nila yung pictures ko, nilalagay nila sa hell, binodox nila yung picture, tapos parang alam mo saan nakatira.
The next question po, what are the most common communication contexts you observe in remote work environments, especially as a CEO?
Sa Canada, we offer marketing agencies. We're not just dealing with staff regularly. We're acquiring a lot of talents. We're dealing with a lot of people, individual, personality, behavior, and manners. In a sense na hindi mo makukuha yung buy-ins nila na instant. Hindi mo makukuha yung kilipin nila, especially in a work-from-home scenario. So if your question is, ano yung conflict na usually na-encounter ko sa work-from-home, is the dead silence. Passive aggressiveness and the dead silence. Kasi if you're working in a work-from-home scenario or in a remote work, mas gusto ko pang mag-argue tayo sa isang bagay rather than you don't talk to me. At least when we're arguing, I'm seeing where you're coming from. And in a scenario na magkaharap tayo, gets ko eh. Kasi in a communication, there's a lot of aspect that plays into it. There's the hand gesture, the facial, aspects, the eye, the eye contact, the rising and falling intonation of the words. Magigets mo eh. Alam mo kung galit siya. But in a work from home, when you play the dead silence game, sobrang hirap niya. Naiintindihan ba niya yung pinapagawa mo? Na-achieve ba niya yung gusto mo ma-achieve? And then of course, the passive aggressiveness yung tipong, this could have been an email, nagpapapamiting ka, this could have been an email, or may magko-comment sa Slack is a group chat na parang Discord. After ng meeting, sasabihin nila na parang, guys, kapag kami magpapatawag kayo ng meeting, please lagyan nyo naman ang agenda next time, kasi hindi lang naman kayo yung busy. I mean, those types of passive aggressiveness, when you can be assertive naman na, Clev, I would appreciate it if next time may agenda tayo. Instead of, addressing the whole room, instead of the passive aggressive, and of course, the thumbs up, diba? Hindi mag-reply pero mag-emoticon. So parang to me, those are the type of scenarios and conflicts that medyo nagtitik ako kasi for me, we're not in communication face-to-face. I need your response verbatim. I've been teaching for 9 years now. Yeah. Almost a decade. I started teaching when I was 21.
21.
In fact, 3 years lang yung agwat sa akin ng mga first college student ko.
Yes, nakita.
Yeah.
3 years of teaching po, how do you teach students to handle communication conflicts in a digital or hybrid learning environment?
Oo, actually naranasan namin yan, MJ. I know the reason why you asked because you wanna know if napagdaanan ko yung COVID, right? So, nung nag-COVID, lahat kami, we're not learning. Kung hindi handa yung students, mas hindi handa yung teachers. Kasi, pag pinag-usapan ng technology sa mga bata kaysa sa teacher, minsan nga yung teacher, yung bata pa nagsasabi kung, sorry, nakamute po kayo. Marami nawawalang factor sa digital communication. The hand gestures, the facial features, the eye contact, the rise and fall intonation, and kung hindi natin sasabihin yung point natin assertively, mami-misunderstood siya or we're gonna be lost in translation.
So what would you say is the key to preventing communication conflicts before they even begin?
Ako kasi, I'm the transformational type of leader. Yung tipong, and at the same time, bureaucratic din. In a sense na kailangan naka-numbers lahat, color-coded lahat, naka-same size lahat. I think Sas can agree to that. I have folder for each folder, envelope for each folder, and all that. So the point is, the reason why I said that is because I lament everything before I give a project. I make sure na yung FAQs nila nasagot ko sa POV ko. For example, I'm asking to create an essay. Instead of a traditional teacher na saying, that will say, okay, maggawa kayo ng essay about COVID. Ako, ipi-POV ko na kagad ano yung mga possible maging questions sa nasusulat, gano'ng kahaba, what are the parts, anong format, kailan submit, pwede bang mag-submit ng late. So, ina-FAQs ko na siya, ina-ahead ko na siya, so para hindi na siya maging conflict in a sense na, sir, di nyo naman po kasi sinabi or sir, di nyo naman po kasi na-communicate So, in short, pinoprovide ko na lahat. So, gano'n, yung mga shady and gray areas, para sa akin, clarify ko siya, so that hindi na siya lumaki as miscommunication or misunderstood.
So, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about communication through your career as both an educator and executive?
Actually, merong bittersweet truth Kasi, as an educator, mahirap magkaroon ng format. Especially that hindi mo naman naki-carry over yung students mo. In a sense na, okay, sige, first year sa akin ngayon, the next year bagong bata ulit. So in a sense, what works for Peter might not work for Josh. So in a sense, kailangan mo repeatedly kailangan ikwento ulit yun, ituro sa kanila ulit yung sense na, okay, ayoko ng passive aggressiveness, pag sinabi kong gantong oras lang, ayoko ng gantong communication, gusto ko assertive, gusto ko direct, kasi nga pagka digital communication, wala tayong, it lacks, the features of the whole communication, so be more direct. If there's one that I've learned about is that you just have to address it every now and then. But one thing that I've learned is that you cannot have just a one take sa mga bagay-bagay. Just say what you want to say, set boundaries, and let them know what you want.
You've experienced conflicts po in terms of communication. So, what approach do you prefer po? Soft approach, like part-to-part talk, or diretsahan po, like straight to the point?
Okay, hindi nag-work sa akin yung heart-to-heart, diretsahan. Kasi diretsahan din akong tao. Ako yung tipo ng tao, I will call it out. I don't even appreciate the beating around the bush. Yung ano nag-start yung hamburger method. Are you familiar with the hamburger method? Yung good, bad, tas good. Para hindi siya masaktan. I don't appreciate that. Kasi in a sense, you will just come up with positive na hindi naman na-appreciate before. Parang hindi ako masaktan. Sa akin, give it to me without chaser, tatanggapin ko yan. And then, I will appreciate even more. Mas ma-appreciate kasi paligoy-ligoy ka pa or marami ka pang ina-add on sa communication. Tapos, yun lang din naman ang ending. Ayoko nung break it to me gently type of thing. Just give it to me, I'll get it. Pag ako yung approach mo, you see something that is not right or you wanna fix sa boses ko, so the way I approach, blah, 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 I will take that. I will learn from it, don't worry, no hurt feelings. But at the same time, if I know naman na ginagawa ko na siya at in-address mo ulit yun, you will hear something from it.
That is all.
Thank you
so
po.
much
Thank
for
you.
Sir
That's
Kevin,
it.
for those insights. We learned a lot.
Sa akin kasi hindi nag-work yung hayaan mo na. Hindi nag-work sa akin yun eh. Kasi, communication is very important. As a host, as a teacher, as a social media platform, as a social media content creator, na hindi lang basta nagpapatawa. Kasi kailangan, I carry the legacy or I carry the soji, the rainbow, the community as a whole. So your platform should also speaks volume. So, because communication is self-worth para sa akin. The moment you allow conflict, dyan sisimula lahat. Address it head-on, nip it in the bud. If you don't want to hear something, say something. If you see something, say something. If ayaw ng mga ganung bagay, for example, please don't talk to me that way. Para alam nila. Or please don't address my parents, or please do not bring my parents into the discussion. Set boundaries. Because communication is a two-way thing. It's never a one-way thing. It should be dapat marunong kang makinig, but at the same time, kailangan marunong ka rin magsalita. And ang advice ko na lang siguro is reflect on it kasi again, for me, communication is self-worth. Learn how to speak up for yourself, set boundaries. Are you done? Okay, thank you.